Okay, could you please tell us your name and where you're from?
My name is Stanley Mtoma. I'm from Nairobi, that is the capital of Kenya in East Africa.
Okay, and what kind of work are you doing around elections?
Basically, I'm an election observer, or we can call monitoring the elections for the United Disabled Persons of Kenya, that is the UDPK, in collaboration with IFES.
Hmm. And what kind of barriers are you finding that people who are blind or have low vision are encountering?
What I can talk about basically are two types of barriers. The first barrier I'll be referred to as the barrier to information or access to information, because you realize that for one to make a proper and informed decision, one must have access to the correct information pertaining the elections. That is in terms of the candidates they want to vote for, which parties they stand for, their manifestos, the particular timelines, or even for one to participate either as a voter or as an aspirant, because you have to know all this information, and sometimes maybe it is not available in accessible format, that is through the braille or through soft copy, or maybe the websites of the political parties may not be very accessible.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the areas we are working with the polling agency in Kenya, which is known as the IEBC, Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, and the political parties and other stakeholders to ensure that this information is accessible to persons who are print disabled or visually challenged.
And what are your hopes for these upcoming elections?
Our hopes is that these elections will be free, fair and credible, just like it is stipulated in our laws under the Constitution and other statutes like the Elections Act and the Political Parties Act and other regulations pertaining to elections. And this, we believe that it is a constitutional right for every person to exercise it, to choose the leader of their choice. So we deem that we need to have a proper election free from violence and free from intimidation, and the IBC together with other stakeholders has to ensure that voting stations are accessible to all persons, including persons with disability. And that's why it is fundamental for us to work in a collaborative partnership with all the stakeholders involved in the elections to ensure our representation.
And why do you think it's important for people with disabilities to participate in political life?
I think it is very important and fundamental for them to participate, because the leaders they put into office will have a direct bearing on them. For instance, if they don't put proper leaders, then these leaders will not have their interest at heart. But if they put their leaders that they have chosen for themselves, they'll have their interest at heart, and they'll be able to put in place policies, regulations, and ensure that they will perform oversight that will ensure the institutions mandated to make life easier for persons with disability, or to even the ground, will be able to implement these laws. That's why we deem that it's important to put people who will have our interest at heart.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, I would like to say that we are happy that stakeholders like IFES and others are working together to give us to provide support in terms of technical and other types of support to ensure that persons with disability are included in these particular elections. So we say thank you to IFES and other stakeholders who are working with us.
Thank you.